Mondays are new. Oh, Yorkshire geek got stories for you. Favorite tricks beyond town's grass. Popcorn adventures on time. Magnificent Mondays with fire in our veins. Cinematic journeys, memories and chains. Geeky passion flowing pure and strong. In this world we all belong. Movies that war and stories that fly. From battles in space to tears in the eye. Epic tales, join those best. Trumpet tells, join the quest. Magnificent Mondays with fire in our veins. Cinematic journeys, memories and chains. Geeky passion flowing pure and strong. In this world we all belong. Movies that war and stories that fly. From battles in space to tears in the eye. Epic tales, join those best. Drop the couch, join the quest. Magnificent Mondays with fire in our veins. Cinematic journeys, memories and chains. Geeky passion flowing pure and strong. In this world we all belong. Lights dim, low screens aglow. Troy takes us where dreams flow. Action heroes, villains, dark night. Every scene, heart still light. Geek myths, giants rise and fall. Time machines, epic brawls. Mondays we grew with geeks light. Fantasy realms to infinite heights.
Hey up, it's Steve from Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode 97. Crack, we're nearly at 100, blooming number, of Magnificent Mondays. And this week, we're going to be reviewing The Belstone Fox from 1973, A lovely British film. Watched it today. Getting a bit lip quivery I was, so there may be tears tonight as we go through this film. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Right, let's say where we're live. We should be live on YouTube. Yes, we are. We should be live on Rumble. Yes, we are. And we should be live on Twitch. Yes, we're live on Twitch as well. Don't know why I keep doing Twitch. Anyway, I thought Twitch was for games, but anyway, whatever. Also, explore the description for links for stuff such as merch, which I'm not wearing, apart from my hat, but you can't get this. But anyway, merch, my books, there they are, Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. And other stuff like my music channel and my websites, the old yorkshiregeek.co.uk, mercuryrapids.co.uk, and there's probably others as well, and my Spotify and that stuff down there, Facebook, X, Instagram, etc. Right, so anything else? I become a member, and then you get exclusive videos and early access videos and all the perks that come with being a member, and all that palaver. And super chats and super thanks would be hugely appreciated, and what they call super stickers as well. There is as well, isn't there? So there, right. So the Belstone Fox from 1973, based on the 1970 novel The Ballad of the Belstone Fox by David Rook. The director, James Hill, read the book, loved it, bought the optioned it, paid for it himself to make it into a movie, and wrote the screenplay. I think it is an amazing film. I remember they showed us it at school when I was a kid, so this will have been round about 1978, 79-ish. They showed us it at school, traumatised forever, because they showed it uncut. There's a horrible part of the film later on. Anyway, it stars Eric Porter, Jeremy Kemp, Bill Travers, Rachel Roberts, Heather Wright and Dennis Waterman and others. And obviously Tag and Merlin, who are the dog and the fox of the movie. It's been suggested that The Fox and the Hound, the Disney film, is based on this as well, but Disney have said The Fox and the Hound is based on the book The Fox and the Hound, which came out in 1967 by, I forgot his name, David Mannix, don't know, am I right? Let me check. I've seen it somewhere. Where have I seen it? Daniel Mannix. There we go, Daniel Mannix. Which came out before The Ballad of the Belstone Fox, and they are similar stories, apparently. I've never seen The Fox and the Hound, the Disney animated movie, but apparently they are similar. Similar stories about a fox and a foxhound raised together, so they become friends and all that stuff, and then the fox hunter kind of has to go on wants to get vengeance on the fox in the end. But apparently the endings of The Fox and the Hound and the Belstone Fox are very different. But anyway, what else? An amazingly beautiful score from Laurie Johnson, no relative, no relation, I don't think. It is amazing. I'll try and play a little snippet. It is a beautiful theme, and it sets me off every time. It is that gorgeous is the theme. Well, I think it is. The budget of £361,000. It was filmed mostly in Somerset, although the climax of the film were filmed not far from where I live, at the Cow and Calf Rocks in Ilkley, where I've been there many years ago. But anyway, but it was filmed mostly in Somerset, and we'll have a look at some of those places as we go through the film. Right, is that it? So we'll get on with it. Right, we're going to go through the film. Obviously, we're not just going to watch it, although you can watch it. It is on YouTube. I've put links in the description where you can watch it on, like, I think it's on Amazon. But you can also watch it on YouTube. Completely free of charge. It is there in its entirety, I do believe. But we're not going to just watch it now because YouTube has still gone mental and just stopped the stream. So we're going to go through it in a series of stills, and I'll try and remember. I haven't watched. There's no special features on the Blu-ray to speak of, apart from that a trailer and what else? Image gallery. That doesn't help, does it? But So I don't know a great deal about the film apart from what I've read on IMDb trivia. So we'll go through that. Such as Eric Porter was only cast as Asher Smith after the actor first cast, don't know that one, was injured in a riding accident. So there we go. So that's the first bit of trivia for you. Right, so let's get on with it, shall we? I shall pop myself down in the corner and we shall get the film up and running. If I can remember what buttons to press. There I am. Right, add to stage. There it is. Have I muted it? Yes, I have. Right, off we go. Off we go. Here it is. BFI, Film Forever, British Film Institute. Often do great, they get older films, films that are often cult films, to be completely honest, or save films that may have been forgotten, and do great transfers of them. But anyway, so there we go. Right, the Rank Organisation, Rank Gong, says the subtitles. Whatever happened to Rank? I think did they get bought out by EMI? For a while it was Rank EMI, and then I think it's just gone altogether now, hasn't it? Missed the fellow with the big gong. Anyway, so here we go. A Julian Wintle production will begin. I'm going to play a bit of the music if it is. I hope it is playing it. But there we see the English countryside. No, I don't think it's not playing the music yet until the titles start. But here we see some chaps walking through misty woods with terriers. And these are not nice fellas. Don't know the names. They don't speak. But they send their dogs in. They find a foxhole. They send the dogs in. And while the dogs are dealing with what's happening at one end of the foxhole, they dig up some foxes. There they are, look. They've dug up some foxes. A mother fox and her cubs, or kittens. I think they're called kittens, aren't they, baby foxes? I think they're called kittens, aren't they? And there they are. And then they just batter them to death. It is horrible. It is. It doesn't show it, obviously. It shows, from a distance like that. But they're killing them. And we don't know why. We don't know why. Maybe the farmers. I don't know. I'm guessing there might be farmers because foxes can cause damage for chickens and stuff like that, can't they? So I don't know, but we don't know who they are. Later on in the film, it's said, who were they? And we don't know. Some people just don't like foxes. That's the only explanation we're given. But anyway, there we go. So the job done, the walk off, and then we cut to night time, and here comes Todd, played by Bill Travers, who I think J.K. Rowling probably watched this and thought he looks like what I think Hagrid's going to look like. But anyway, here he comes through the woods. He's kind of a woodsman. And he finds what's left, look, the dead fox and fox cubs. But one of the kittens, not cubs, kittens. I'm going to check that, actually. Baby fox. What is a baby fox called? It can be a cub, pup, or a kit. So there we go. It's all right. So I'll kind of call them cubs then, because that just sounds more natural. Anywho, he finds one there, one's still alive, the rest are dead, and we got a voiceover from Kathy. Kathy is the wife of the Eric Porter's character, played by, I've forgotten already, Rachel somebody or other. Where's the cast? Rachel Roberts plays Kathy. But she's doing the voiceover. And so began the strange and terrifying story. I won't call it terrifying, but of the Belstone Fox. But there it is. That's young Tag, as he comes to be known. Young Tag. So he takes him away anyway. And then we'll get in the. I'm probably going to get the opening music now. I might start crying. Won't play it too long, I'll get into trouble. And there we go, the Belstone Fox, 1973, off we go. Dennis Waterman's in this. He's most famous in Britain. I don't know if he's famous overseas, but he was in, most famous for his roles in The Sweeney, which is a British cop show, and also in Minder, which was like a comedy drama. But anyways, in this, a very young Dennis Waterman in this. There we go, based on the novel The Ballad of the Belstone Fox by David Rook. Anyway, there we see some more. Is that a badger? There we go, badger. and an owl, as my son used to call him when he was a little arrel. I say it now and again, he gets really angry at me. Hedgehogs, British wildlife. I go screenplay by James Hill, directed by James Hill, and we're going to arrive at, I don't know what they call this place. It's a kennels, but it is actually called King's Farm. Is this this place? Now I think I found it on I forgot what they call it now. Google Maps. I think it's this place. Here we go. I think this is King's Farm. In I forgot where. I forgot where it is. Hang on. In Shearston in Somerset. I think it's here because we see it later on. Pardon me. But anyway, so this is where we're going to meet Asher Smith. Weird name, isn't it? Asher. Don't know, but there is Eric Porter and Rachel Roberts as his wife, Kathy, and it's kind of we're being told that he's getting on. He's the master of the hounds. It's all about fox hunting, by the way. Is this film? When it was legal, it's illegal now. Is fox hunting in the UK? But anyway, back in 1973, it wasn't. So he's the master of the hounds for a fox hunt, the Belstone hunt. That's what it's called. That's why it's called the Belstone Fox. And back then, when they were fox hunting, I presume there is still fox hunting. They still do go out on horses with the red coats on and stuff and the horn. But they're not allowed to hunt foxes, although some people think they still do, but they're not supposed to. They do other things, scent hunting, and somebody goes out with some fox scent and that to get the dogs and that, but they're not allowed to hunt foxes. But the season was between November and April in the winter. That was the season for fox hunting. I think they do it in summer, wouldn't you, when it's all nice and warm, but no, they do it in winter. Which is why there's daffodils there. I was watching it earlier on and I was thinking, they've got daffodils there. So, I was thinking, obviously it's early spring then, isn't it? So, and it isn't, because the season has just ended, the fox hunting season. And we learned that Eric Porter's getting on a bit. Asher Smith is getting on a bit. He's complaining about his back's hurting and all that stuff. There you go. It hasn't been a bad season. And she's saying his wife wants him to retire, and he says, I'm not going to retire. I'll retire when I'm ready. Let's go as long as I can. There we go. So it's all very nice and quaint and all that stuff. He loves his wife, and she loves him. Going to check on the dogs. There we go. Who's that talking? Here's all the hounds, the fox hounds. They all love him. And there's keep the dogs and the bitches separate. There we go, my lovely ladies. And anyway, so off he goes. Going to go to bed. But then there's a knock at the door, and here comes Todd, played by Bill Travers, and he's brought in the little baby fox. There it is. Found him, in a hole. They'd all been killed. And so anyway, so Asher would basically just put it out of its misery. He says it's nearly dead. And Kathy suggests they put it with the I forgot the name. She'll say in a minute. Put it with some ruin or whatever they call it. I can't remember. It says here in a minute. Where is it? There we go, Old Ruin. I thought it was called something else. Put it with the bitch, Old Ruin, which is a dog that's just had pups. And he says, if she takes to it, fine. If not, she'll eat it. So that's what they're going to do. So here we go. Put the little baby fox there with the mother, and it goes in with all the other pups. And it's all gorgeous and lovely. And off they go, back to bed. And so he's going to go check. He's going to go check on the fox. He's obviously worried. Anyway, next morning we meet Jenny. This is their daughter Jenny, and he's going to go check. And there we go. We see the fox is still there. It's still alive, and it's going to get raised by the mother. By them, they're going to look after the fox. Because even though they're, part of a fox hunt, they don't hate foxes. That's the moral of this story. But later on, as the story unfolds, things change. But anywho, so the fox is still alive. She's allowed it into the litter. And what they did in the film, they actually raised four fox cubs, put 4 fox cubs in with a litter of pups, dogs, foxhounds, and see which ones got on best. And the 2 that got on the best were the ones that became Merlin, which is the dog, and Tag, which is the fox. And they're the 2 that they used in the film. Don't know what they did with the rest. I don't know. But apparently after the film, Tag went on a promotional tour for the film and then lived out the rest of his life in a zoo, apparently. Don't know which one. But anyway, so here we go. There's Dennis Waterman. He's Asher's assistant, who is ambitious. He wants to become the huntsman, which is what Asher's title is. He's the huntsman, the master of the hounds and all that. But there is, people above him. There's the lord of the manor who's above him. That's who he works for. So there they go. They're taking the dogs out. He's the whipper, or that's what they call it. He helps control the dogs. There we go. He's got his whip in his hand. What do they call him? Whippering. That's what they call him. Right. So they're going to go over to the house, the big house, the Belstone Manor or whatever. There it is. Which is called, in real life, because I've forgotten already, Barford House, which is in Piteley in Somerset. And I've got it on me. It's in here somewhere. I don't know where. We'll go through them. It's not that one. We're going to come to that in a minute. There, that's Barford House. It isn't on Google Maps, but there is a photo of it somewhere. I've got a photo of it somewhere. Where is it? Where's my photo of it? There it is. That's Barford House in Somerset. So there we go. So with his Jag outside. This is Jeremy Kemp, who plays. I forgot his name again already. I'm bloody hopeless. John Kendrick, who is the lord of the manor. Right. So here he is, and not a bad guy. He's actually a really nice chap. But anyway. And he tells him straight up, does Asher, that Todd brought in a fox cub, and that he's basically put it in with one of the dogs, and she's nursing him, and he's fine with it. He's fine. There we go. So, what an amazing huntsman I've got. Anyway, so do you object? Oh, no. Anyway, right. So there they are, being all lovely. And several weeks and months pass, by the way, really quickly. Oh, I guess they're going to work out a name for him, and she decides she's going to call him Tag. Don't know why. Oh, I do know why, because Todd says is a ragtag fox, in the litter or whatever. Anyway, so she calls him Tag. Stephen is his name. Dennis Waterman's character is Stephen. Right, yes, okay, so, right. A while has passed, weeks or whatever's passed now, or maybe months. The dogs are getting, but these are the pups. They're growing up. And now it's Asher's job to name them. And apparently they name them with the first letter of the sire's first name. There you go. And it says here what they were called. Hang on, where we go. Marshall was the sire from Brocklesby, fine animal. So they all got to begin with names, beginning with M. And he's thought of all the others, and he's just got the one Tag's best friend. That's what they say. We've got Millie, Melody, Meanwell, Menacer, all except Tag's little friend. There he is. I wonder if they painted this dog, this puppy, on its back black. It doesn't look quite right, does it? Because the grown-up Merlin, obviously, he's got black on his back, but this doesn't look quite right, does it? But anyway, there they are, friends. So she's going through names and then going for Merlin. So Merlin it is. There's Merlin and Tag, and become fast friends. Anyway, so there he is back up at the manor with Mr. Kendrick, talking all about it, and they're talking about the fox and Tag. He says, he'll they're raising him and he'll go of his own accord. and you know, they'll always go back to the wild unless you chain them up. But anyway, right, so they're going to get ready for the coming season. Mr. Kendrick, I think he inherited this this title, and he's unsure of whether he's worthy of it, and he's asking Asher, you know, if people think he's okay. Apparently, he's just lost his wife as well. His wife's passed away, so he's a bit of a. They say he must be lonely. I think the local community does kind of like him, and they feel a bit, you know, sorry for him and all that. But because he's not a bad fella. There we go. Bloody money put me in here. Damn all else. But anyway, right. So, what's happening next? I can't remember. There's Tag by himself. The dogs must be out being exercised or whatever. And there he's stroking him, look. Because it's all lovely and beautiful. So, little does he know what's going to happen later on in the film. Right, so I think we're now going to get a montage now of Jenny going out with Merlin and Tag and playing in the woods and the countryside. There we go. Spring gave way to the richness of summer. Living was easy. And there we go. They're playing with rabbits in the cornfields and the other animals and the weasel or whatever the hell that is. So it's all fun and games. There we go. They're all having fun playing. Getting run over by a combine harvester. Superman's there to save her, like in Superman 3. Anywho, so they're all having fun and games. Don't worry. They don't get run over. They're fine. Don't worry. And it's just showing what goes on. Country life. And then poppies all round as well. But there we go. Wherever one went, the other would follow. By the foxes with amazing eyes. I think they're the only canines with like cat's eyes, vertical slits for eyes. And the fennec foxes have them as well. And I don't know if any other mammal apart from cats have eyes like that. You know, like snakes and frogs and lizards and stuff do, don't they? But I don't know if any other mammal does, apart from cats and foxes. Anyway. It's an evolutionary thing. I think it's so they can see in the dark. That's why they've really good night vision, apparently. But Windgrace is here. Love the fennec fox. You know what? I can't remember. Is that them with the massive ears? That fennec foxes? Can't remember. Oh, pardon me. Anyway, they're getting up to mischief now. Here they are, getting up to mischief. The family's out. They've got in the house. I forgot to mention earlier on, we saw Rachel, not Rachel, I keep calling her Rachel, that's her real name, Kathy, putting the lid on the old Singer, well, I presume it's a Singer, I don't know, the old sewing machine. And I remember my mum used to have one of these old sewing machines, a big metal, you know, iron contraption with a big wheel on it and all that. My mum used to have one of them. But anyway, they're in the house and they're causing trouble. In the cooking bowls and everything. Look, they're causing trouble because they're mischievous. Look, crash. It's all going wrong. Look, they're into the cushions and feathers are everywhere. Look, they're coming there. What's going on? Oh, who let them in? Look, they chase them out. So it blames Jenny. You must have left the back door open. Oh. But they're tidy up and everything's fine. Look, they're fixing stuff. She's fixing the broken vases. And all that, and Jenny's worrying about what's going to happen when when they get older, when Merlin, you know, joins the hunt. What will happen? What, you know, will they be hunting Tag as well? You know, and I suppose, yeah, if they ever come across him, yes, they will. But we learn what's going to happen. But he's just saying, well, we'll have to see what happens, won't we? Windgrace says, sorry, still working on my second Strange New Worlds video. I wonder where it was. I thought you hadn't bothered with it because you didn't like the second episode, did you? Anyway, so that's what they're talking about there. Anyway, right, so here comes, it's time now, because they haven't been put in with the other dogs. I think because of his friendship with Tag, they've kept him separate from the other dogs, and now it's time. He's got to go in with the rest of the pack. And there's Tag by himself now. So, and then he's keeping them up all night because Merlin's howling because he wants his friend, and Tag's outside, barking like that bark that foxes do. So let's have a listen. See if we can hear it. Yeah, that's like a fox bark, isn't it? But keeping them up, and obviously because they're separated. Look, they're both looking for each other, and it's all sorry, Wingrave saying I liked it better my second watch, but didn't want to waste my weekend. It's on about Star Trek. Anyway, so there we go. And is it this bit or is it later? No, it's later. There's a bit later on where Tag. See, I'm tearing up already. Tag keeps coming back, and he ends up chasing him away, and it's one of them. Anyway, right. So next day or whatever, I don't know how long's gone. They're feeding them. I think they're just feeding them like dead rabbits and stuff because they're just ripping them apart. That'll be how they train them as well, won't it? Because they're going to be ripping foxes apart. Not too long from now. There's Jenny watching on in her jodhpurs. Anyway, are they looking at his tag still in there, by the way? Is he? No, it's Merlin's in there. He doesn't want to join in. Is he going to show him? Crying out loud. There he is. He's fed up, look. He's missing Tag. Poor Merlin. There he is with his sad eyes. This might be it now. There we go. There's Tag. Come looking for Merlin again. He chases him off. Says, "Go on, get out of it. Go on, I tell you, get out." And he's throwing stones and sticks at him. And he goes running off eventually. And I think, I'm crying. Anyway, right. I think it's time for the. Is it time for the first hunt or whatever? Yes, they're getting them. They're choosing the dogs that they're going to use for the first hunt of the season. And I think he does put Merlin in there. See how he does. Todd's job, by the way, is like a groundsman, a forestman, whatever, woodsman, whatever, they don't know. But his job is to go around. He don't kill the foxes. He goes in and fills in the fox holes in the area so that the fox doesn't have anywhere to go to ground. That's what his job is. But anyway, so that's what they're talking about there. Anyway. So they're talking about his Tag around. Says, oh, he's around, and we learn that Todd's been feeding him out in the woods. So anyway, right. So they're getting ready now. There we go. The first hunt of the season. There he's in his red coat and stuff. They're getting ready. Off they go. So here comes Merlin, and he doesn't do very well to start with. Anyway, here we go. They're getting ready. There we go, another location for us. This is the Travellers' Rest Inn, which apparently is closed down. I don't know for how long, but it is there. The Travellers' Rest Inn is in Merridge in Somerset, and I've got a picture of that from Google Earth, Google Maps as well. Is that it? No, that's not it. Where is it? There we go. The Travellers' Rest Inn. And there it is. What it looks like today, or I think it was 2017. That's what it looked like then. I think it's closed. I think it's closed down now, unfortunately. But there it is. There's the actual location, and I said there it is in the film. Looks exactly the same, doesn't it? More or less. Anyway, so they're all gathering outside the Travellers' Rest to go for the hunt. They go having little nips of brandy or whatever. Even little kiddies are going, look. Or whatever. Little kiddies are getting ready to go as well. So it's fun for all the family. I'm watching a fox getting torn apart by hounds. Anyway, so off they go across the countryside. So, here we go. I think suddenly a fox comes out and they set off after it. I think the dogs, they don't chase a fox in this, I don't think. The dogs just find one in the wood and just tear it apart. And he's got to go in after them. They're all waiting. And somebody were even eating a sandwich. Anyway. They're all doing a ritual thing. They're all using their crops. Don't know why. There's a fox. Yes, one does come running out. One comes running out, but they've got one in the there we go. They're ripping it apart. Look in the woods. Anyway, goes in. There's Asher and cuts the tail off the fox. There we go. Cuts the tail off and leaves the rest for the dogs. Just totally cruel, but anyway, there we go. Gives the tail to Stephen, and Stephen gives it to Jenny. There she is, and I don't want this. It's just been cut off alive. Fox is still warm. She ends up becoming an anti-fox hunter. Anyway, and they go and blood this little girl. There we go, Katie. She's been in her first hunt, so there we go, smear it on her face. Tell your mother not to wash it off, all right? Traumatised. Anyway, but Merlin didn't want anything to do with that, and he's not doing well. Is Merlin? He's not been a good hound. And he's late back as well. He'd probably gone off. He'd probably found tag somewhere, to be completely honest. He was late coming back. They got all the dogs back except for Merlin, and he's here now. He's come back. He's waiting. So anyway, so in he goes with the other dogs, separate from them. Look, but anyway, in the pub, Todd's there with Stephen, and Stephen's kind of having a go at Asher. Saying he's getting a bit too old, and he should become the huntsman, the master of the dogs and all that. And Asher's getting too old. So Todd, tears a strip off him, saying, "Todd, Asher knows more about hounds than you'll ever know. Has forgotten more than you'll ever know, and all that. And one thing you wouldn't find him talking behind his back about you, and all that stuff. So, it's just the beer talking." This is where we learn. He's kind of ambitious, is Stephen, but he's not a bad un. He's not a bad un. He's just a normal person. Anyway, another hunt. There's what's the face touching the face. I hope they don't put blood on me again. But there's Merlin, just sat waiting patiently, and I think it's being told by Mr. Kendrick, saying, if Merlin doesn't join in this time, put him out or whatever, take him out of the pack or whatever, replace him. So he's saying, yes, sir. Anyway, so off they go on another hunt. And I think this might be one where they find tag, because I think it's Merlin that comes across tag. I think. Because he sees, there we go, comes across tag there in the woods. And so he says, okay, let's see. And the dogs get the scent and they go running after him. There's Merlin, look, playing, they're just playing, having a nice run about. They know that all the other dogs would just tear tag apart, wouldn't they? But he's too clever, he's too wily, his tag. And, he gets away. And but Merlin was the one that, got the rest of the dogs chasing after tag. But anyway, so there we go. So after that, he kind of gets into the groove of finding foxes. He don't want to kill them. But there we go. Although many times he found foxes for them, he never took part in the kill, and it shows. He never gets involved himself in the actual kill, and it shows him just sat separate watching. It's all a game to him. What's this one? I think this is showing Todd feeding Merlin. Is it this? It might be later. Is it this bit? No, it might be later. Anyway, so, and now we get a kind of a bit of a montage of some of the antics that Tag gets up to in the fox hunts. Eluding the hunt, and he goes running into a churchyard where there's a funeral going on. So we see that there. And it just runs running. They've got to stop because the coffin's going by. This is filmed, by the way, at Church of St. Peter and St. Paul in Overstowe, Somerset. And I've got a picture of that as well. So we'll show you what that looks like today, if I can find it. I go the wrong way, don't I? There it is. There we can see the two crosses there. That's what it looked like in 2009. They're doing some sort of festival look in June of 2009. But there, you see those two crosses there. You see them in in the film, and in the film there, we see Tag like on a big gravestone, but I couldn't find that in this. So it might be one. It might have been a prop. I don't know, or it could have been filmed somewhere else for all I know. But anyway, there you go. There's them two crosses there. But they've got to wait, and right now, Asher's kind of amused by Tag's, cleverness and his ability to lead them a merry dance. So he's kind of smiling because you can see Tag. There he is, watching them from the top of a gravestone. It's all fun and games for Tag. Anyway, right. So back at the kennels. Mr. Kendrick's coming to see Asher. There's Kathy burning some leaves. And we learn that Jenny's off to college. She's going off to college. And so it must be September time, mustn't it, if she's off to college. They're having a snooze by the fire, is Todd and Asher. And anyway, it's brought in a copy of, is it Fox and Hound magazine? Because this is where we're going to get this is where we get the montage of what's gone on. Because somebody spoke to the magazine about what is become known as the Belstone Fox. So he's telling them, we're going to tell them all about it. There we go. Yes, Horse and Hound magazine. So they go on one occasion he made a wide, what is it? A wide detour to run through a vegetable garden and through a cottage and out through the front door. And then another one, there we go, floated on a piece of driftwood. It's not driftwood, it's a bloody door, isn't it? Over the waters of Wootton Reservoir. There's Wootton Reservoir, which is actually Hawkridge Reservoir, which is obviously a real place, and I do have a picture of it somewhere. There it is. There's Hawkridge Reservoir. That's where that was filmed. It looks a bit different now, doesn't it? I did in 2019, all fenced off. Not allowed to do anything these days, are you? Can't go walking across the reservoir now, or even riding horses across it. But anyway, so he eluded them that way by getting across the reservoir on a piece of driftwood. What else? Oh, I jumped in the back of a baker's van outside the White Horse pub. We'll get a wide shot of it. There we go. There is a wide shot somewhere. Oh, Pete's sake, go back a bit. Go back a bit. There we go. The White Horse pub. Jumped in the back of a baker's van. It is the White, yes, in Hedgerley in Buckinghamshire is the White Horse pub. And that's still there as well. I've got a picture of that, if I can find it. There it is. There's the White Horse pub, as it was in March this year. Exactly the same, isn't it? Exactly the same as it was back in 1973 or 72, whenever it were filmed. When were it filmed? Filming dates? Does it say? Doesn't say. I imagine it been 72. Yeah, so that's the White Horse pub. There it is. Still the same. Well, they've got more tables and chairs outside now. But anyway, he jumped in the back of a baker's van. It drove off with Tag in the back, being chased by a solitary hound, which is obviously Merlin, for several miles. But anyway. And what else? Does it say anything else? Yes, and it said that occasionally when the hunt gathers, the fox is often seen nearby on a trash can or whatever they call it, nearby waste bin, surveying the scene with great interest and and evident enjoyment. So obviously it's all fun and games at the moment. And, I always try, don't I? Says Asher, to try to catch him. He says, I don't know, do you? Anyway, so like I say, it's all fun and games. And he's saying Asher seems to be, cutting Tag a lot of slack. So any other fox, he'd have sent the dogs in, but to finish him off, and he hasn't done. But anyway, so. But things are going to go wrong soon. I think this is where we see he's feeding Tag. There he is. He brings Tag some meat and feeds him. Because Tag's got his own territory now in some woods somewhere where he hangs out. Right, so We're having a party. It's Jenny's 21st birthday. She's home from college. It's her 21st birthday. So they're having a party. And some of her college friends come who are very, frilly shirt, early 70s, frightfully posh. But Stephen's getting drunk. I thought he was going to get into a fight with them, but he doesn't. It's all very nice. She gets a present of Mr. Kendrick. And so they're all having fun. Apart from Stephen, who's just getting drunk. She's got a big cake. Happy birthday, Jenny. And it's all nice. Stephen ends up drunk and being put in the barn. But there we go, they're all having fun and games. And anyway, later on, everybody's going, bye, Jenny, bye. And she goes over and finds Stephen asleep in the barn, gone to earth. And now he kind of proposes to her. Because we learn that he's been offered the job of huntsman for a neighbouring hunt. And and he's thinking of taking the job, but he'd have to move away. And he asks, I'd like you to come with me. And she says, I'll have to think about it. So she's obviously fond of Stephen, but I think this is as far as their relationship goes. But anyway, right, so they're out on the hunt again. Probably Tag is there he is. They're all. He said, I think he does actually say here. Says, where is it? And Mr. Kendrick says, and he's probably watching us, laughing at us right now. And then he does see him. He's there watching his Tag. So he says, right, my lad, let's see what you've got. So they go chasing out. There you go. Let's see what you're really made of. So off they go chasing after him. I bet Merlin's there. Yes, Merlin's there as well. And I think this is where it all goes hideously wrong. It's quite an extended scene, an extended chase is this. They're all racing across the countryside, through ruins. Let me go back again. Well, one shot, I thought, where are the Gondor? I bet I can't find it now. We'll see if I can remember where it was. There's like just a big statue in the middle of nowhere. And I thought, are they in Gondor? That's with the Lord of the Rings. Where is it? Let's see, there's a ruin there that they go running through. Is it this part? I'm sure it is. Anyway, so they're going. Anyway, there we go. It's a big statue in the middle of nowhere. Oh dear. Right. So anyway, he leads them up an embankment, and all the people are falling off the horses and everything. They're carrying on, and goes jumping across a beck or whatever you call it. Horse whinnies. Oh, by Jove! Anyway, ends up leading up to a railway embankment. This is the horrific bit of the film that when I saw it on TV as a kid got cut out, because it's fenced off with barbed wire. Because it's there's a railway on the other side, and everybody's pulling. And by the way, Asher fell off his horse as well, and he got back on, but he's hurt. He's ripping the barbed wire off the fence to get through, and but it's too late. There we go. There goes Tag across the railway, and Merlin soon after. But all the other dogs, they don't realise what's happening. They're just on the railway line. But a bloody train comes, doesn't it? They don't know. There it is. There's the train. Apparently they filmed it in reverse. Now I was trying to watch it to see if it looked like the dogs were going backwards, but I don't know. I couldn't really make it out. But they filmed it back. The train backed away from the dogs, and they just played it the other way, make it look as though it were hitting them. So anyway, so the train hits all the dogs, and it is very shocking. And thank you, Justin. Hello, Justin. $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. He says, thank you very much. You're just in time to see the dogs get run over by a bloody train. There we go. So, no! And there's, we see dogs flying about. Look. Dogs getting thrown and chopped up by the bloody train. Look, it's horrible. It's horrible. Anyway, there's all the dogs all dead. A lot of them. Some injured look. It's horrible. There we go. He's got to put some of them down. Stephen got a little gun. Stephen gives him a gun. Got to put some of them down. and it is a terrible thing. And this is where he's not happy. Is Asher, and he thinks now he's got to get that fox. It becomes like a personal thing now. But Kendrick, it thinks it's just one of those things. It's an accident. The fox didn't know a train were coming, but Asher sees it kind of differently. He could do that today. You mean couldn't? He couldn't do that today in a film. Probably not, no. But anyway, so it is a shocking thing, is this, that's in the film. I remember seeing it at school, we're like, oh! Anyway, he's got away as Tag, because he's all dishevelled. So you give him a run for the money, and here comes Merlin. There we go, giving him a clean, because he's his best mate. Anyway, so here's Asher all fed up. He actually looks older, doesn't he? I think now he's like he's aged. What's just happened today has aged him. He's got grey in his hair, and we see he's got a walking stick because he was injured because he fell off his horse. And he obviously cut his hands getting off the barbed wire and stuff. And he looks older, and more haggard. And there's Merlin's come home, so he's putting Merlin back in. I think, does Merlin know what's going to happen? Don't know, but he always looks sad, doesn't he, does Merlin? And right, so he's having another meeting with Mr. Kendrick. And so where Mr. Kendrick says, it was an accident, it was terrible, but, they were my dogs after all. But, it's just one of those things. And he says, well, I've got to find that fox and kill it. He says, no, what are you talking about? It's only a fox. And he goes, shut up. And he goes, ooh. But he says, no, you don't understand. And he says, Tag knows now, if he runs across the railway line, the dogs will, he thinks he'll put the dogs off. The dogs won't follow him. Whether he knows the train is coming or not, and he says he'll just do that all the time. He'll go that same way all the time. And we'll lose more hounds. So I've got to kill Tag. And so Mr. Kendrick says, oh, well, in that case, we'll just go out and find somebody, we'll just shoot him. He says, no, I can't do that. That wouldn't be fair. So we've got to get him in the hunt. But anyway. So that's what he's saying. Look, it's proved he'll go on doing it again and again. Anyway, no, sir, not that way. I can't shoot him. Got to do it fair and square. That'd be wrong. Look, got to hunt him fair and square. And so that's what his plan is. Obviously, he's hurt. He's he's got a duff leg or whatever. And saying, you sure you'll be fit for Saturday? And says, yes, I'll be there. And but he's saying, I've got to kill that bloody fox. And Todd's saying, no, you can't, and all that. I've been feeding him. I will take him, and I'll stop him. I'll keep him out of the way of the hunt, and then just release him after you've done. He says, no, that's no good. We've got to get rid of him. Look, can't risk it. Poor Todd's getting all upset, and so am I. Right, so I think this is the climactic hunt. We're back at Belstone Manor, or whatever it's called, in the film, getting ready for the final hunt of the film. I think it is, isn't it? And Mr. Kendrick's saying, are you sure you're all right, Ash? Says, yes, sir, I'm fine. He says, okay. Well, good luck, you stubborn old devil. So anyway. We've also learned, by the way, that Jenny doesn't go hunting anymore because she's anti-hunting now, because she's been to college, she's been to the big city. Now she doesn't believe in hunting anymore. So... anyway, so off they go, and they do find Tag's scent, and so off they go. So they are through the woods. There's Tag, and they do go chasing him. And Ash, they go chasing through the woods, and I think Ash actually runs into a tree. I think in a minute, or was that last time? I can't remember. Oh no, that was last time. It was last time he hit it like a tree and fell off his horse. But now Tag's been wily and he's run where there's another fox, and so they've got the scent. The pack has got the scent of another fox. In a bit. Oh no, not yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yes, Tag is heading for home, heading to the kennels. So there he goes. He says he's heading for home. And he's gone home. So there you go. he's running to the barn, and he tunnels through the hay and gets through the other side. There he goes, tunnelling through the hay, look. And he gets through the other side. So they all go round, they're chasing after him still. Oh, no, it is this bit where he hits the tree. Yes, here he goes. Going through all the brambles and the twigs and stuff. And he does hit a tree. Yeah, there we go. Hits that branch there, falls off. I thought it was last time, it's this time. So he's getting hurt. I thought he'd punctured the lung or something like that, because he starts bleeding out the corner of his mouth. I think he might have punctured his lung. But he gets back up, carries on. And this is where another fox comes. They get the scent. The pack gets the scent of another fox. And then, but Merlin and Tag keep running up all the way up to Yorkshire. Not really in the film, but in terms of the locations. But anyway, and the rest of the pack go off to the left that way. So there they go, and they say, "No, not that one, that way." And Mr. Kendrick comes along and says, "Oh, why aren't you going after your pack?" Says to Asher, "Why aren't you going after the pack?" Says, "My pack's gone that way." Talking about Merlin and Tag. He says, "Well, go after, go after your there we go. Go after the main pack. Never mind them now. Forget them." He says, "No, I've got to go and get it." So go after your pack. He says, "Get back to your pack. What's wrong with you?" He says, "No, I've got to go after him." So off he goes. Says, and he gives him the trumpet, or whatever the hell it's called, bugle. I don't know what it is. Gives him that. So he's giving up as being the huntsman, the master of the dogs or whatever. So Kendrick gives it to gives that to Stephen. Because they go off with the rest of the dogs. So they carry on their hunt. And now Ash is on his vendetta against Tag. And they end up in Yorkshire. Well, I don't know. Are there no craggy hills like this in Somerset? It's the Dartmoor. Surely there's hills like that. But anyway, they're at the Cow and Calf Rocks in Ilkley in Yorkshire, which I do have a picture of that as well. If I can find it. Where are we? There we go. There it is. That's what it looks like on Google Maps. That's it. I've been there once. It's fine. I don't know why it's a tourist attraction, to be completely honest. I mean, it's kind of picturesque and nice and stuff. I don't even know why it's called the Cow and Calf Rocks, but it's two big rocks with all these other ones. But pressing the wrong button. I'm stupid. Anyway, but there you go. So he chased them up there, and he sees them going up into the rocks. And he goes chasing after the horse. Obviously can't go, and we see he's struggling with his duff leg, and as I say, he's got blood coming out the corner of his mouth. I think he's punctured the lung. Anyway, he chases him in. We see Tag go into a cave, wind howling. So in he goes. And I think now we're in a studio. I think we're in a set now, because some of it were filmed at Pinewood. And this looks like a set. And then we see he's not well. And he finds Tag and Merlin both there, waiting for him together. Because it's all fun and games for them. They don't know, do they? And he gets his penknife out. He's going to kill Tag. Oh no. There we the click. Looks, he's got his penknife out. He's going to kill him. Going to kill the fox that caused the death of all of his hounds. But before he does that, he keels over, has a heart attack, and passes away. I was surprised actually. I thought they'd have found him. Because I think in the book, he doesn't die. I don't think. He's forced to retire. He ends up in old people's home or something like that. I think. I don't know. I think that's what I've read on the internet. But in the film, they killed him off. He has a heart attack and dies. Probably or dies of exposure or whatever. I don't know. They don't find him till morning. But they're staying with him. That's him. Filling up. Anyway, so they're all waiting. And there we go. And Todd comes back and he says he's found his horse up by such and such rocks. I can't remember what he says. Let's go back again. There we go. Found his horse. Oh, Badge Hill Way. And so it says, we can't go. It's too too cold and all that. But you know, it'll be dawn in an hour and we'll set off then. So he phones up. Where is he? There he is. He phones up Mr. Kendrick and tells him that they found his horse. So he's up by Badge Hill. So they're going to go, right, so the sun's come up, they're going to go up and find him. They're going to go bring him back. So up they go to Yorkshire. And he sees Tag, and in they go, and they find him, and he's passed away as Asher. And Todd picks up the knife and takes the knife and puts it in his pocket so that, you know, don't look as though he were trying to kill the fox. So anyway, so then they take him out, and that's about it really, to be honest. There we go. Her dad's dead, so she's not very happy. But they take him out, take him back down, and there we see Tag watching from the top of the rocks, and the film ends, and it's all very sad. The legend of the Belstone Fox. Done. A great film. I'm nearly crying now. It sets me off just because it's lovely. But there we go. The Belstone Fox. You can watch it on YouTube in its entirety. I've put a link in the description. It is an amazingly great film, or you can buy it on Blu-ray. Fortunately, there's no special features, which is a bit poo. But anyway, so there we go. A great film. I don't know if it's anything like The Fox and the Hound from Disney, because I've not seen that. But anyway, so we'll leave it there. We will leave that there. All done and dusted. A great, one of my favourites. A great film. If I ever did another top 10, I've been thinking recently, you know, I did my top 10 favourite movies of all time. I think if I did another, I might have to shuffle some films about and add some others. Because I'd actually forgot how much I like this film. But anyway. Right. So, we're done. A quickie today. Yeah. So we'll leave it there. As I said, you can watch it. I think it's on Amazon. So let me check. Hang on, what am I doing? Just got to check me notes. Not notes, but I know what I mean. Where have I put it? Is that it? Yes, that's it. No, it's not. It's not on Amazon. I thought it was, but it's not on Amazon. But it is on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. A link is in the description to watch it on YouTube. Anyway, and it is a great film. It is a really good film. I can't recommend it highly enough. You know, I'm going to have to go watch The Fox and the Hound on Disney Plus, aren't I? I'm going to watch it now and see if it's... I imagine the animals are talking in that. But anyway, we will leave it there. So what's coming up next? What day are we on? Monday? Wednesday, I think I'll be doing my top 5 favourite movies of 1997. Because I won't have finished Star Trek Deep Space Nine Season 6 by then. Justin says, The Fox and the Hound is great. But it don't make me cry, though, like that one does. And on Friday, for Friday Night Porn with Fear this week, we're doing The Cabin in the Woods. Yay. Great film. I love that film, Cabin in the Woods. And next Monday, for Magnificent Mondays next week, it's the 28th anniversary-ish of Deep Blue Sea. So next Monday we're doing Deep Blue Sea. Cool film. The second best shark film out there. Third best. I like Jaws too. But that's next week. Right. So we'll leave it there. As I said, a quick one tonight. We rattled through that one, didn't we? But as I said, I didn't have a lot of information about it. Let's have a look at the IMDb trivia. Locations were found in Somerset, while the pups were provided by the Haythrop Hunt in Oxfordshire. James Hill, the director and screenwriter, read a review of the novel, then read the book, and used his own money to buy the film rights, as I said earlier. And tried to get Disney involved, but it was too controversial for them. Trains splattering dogs everywhere. Once backing was secured, the animal actors were raised exactly as in the book, bringing up a litter of 8 hound puppies and a litter of 4 fox cubs from the day they were born. One of each paired off naturally, so these 2 became Merlin and Tag, but James soon found that it was virtually impossible to train a fox, as you would a dog, and he wouldn't reveal how the shots of the hounds and the fox running together were done. I don't know. Probably I'm chasing a dead rabbit or something, probably. The impression of the violent accident near the end of the film, the train, was achieved by editing and without spilling any blood. Thank goodness for that. As I said, I think it was done in reverse. And the tame fox used in the film was used to promote the film and then spent the rest of its life in a zoo. The scene where the hounds are led into the train tracks was filmed on a stretch of the West Somerset Railway and was filmed in reverse and then played backwards in order to get a realistic sense of the train colliding with the pack of hounds. So there we go. Terrible thing. August 18th, I'm going to see the original Texas Chainsaw in theatres. Cool. It's a good film, is that? A good film is Texas. Although it's not one of my favourites, it is a good film. And not as gruesome as people think, is it? It's the title, isn't it, that people... it raises people's expectations, doesn't it? I always remember when I was at school, so I'll be like 15-year-old, we had a video club, because back then, video were new. This is like 1982. Video were new. And we had a video club, and we were always trying to get the teachers to say, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Evil Dead, and he wouldn't. I think the highest rated film that we ever got to see at the video club was Monty Python's Life of Brian. But anyway, but they did show us the Belstone Fox when they were in junior school, when they were a kid, when they were about it'll be about 78, so it'll be about 11. They showed us it at school, and I loved it then, and I fell in love with the film, and thought it was amazing. I was probably sat crying at school now once. Oh dear. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Justin, and thanks for the $2 super chat, and thanks, Windgrace, for keeping me company as we go through and review the Belstone Fox. Keep talking about how much I love the film and all that, and the fox and the dog in it are amazing. And I'm not talking about the actors, are they? All the actors were really good in it. There were no real bad guys in it. The master of the hunt, Mr. Kendrick, decent chap. Seems to get on with everybody, doesn't he? Didn't want to see Tag get hurt, really, unless it were necessary. But anyway. And poor Eric Porter's character Ash died at the end, which was sad. But anyway. On that note, on that bombshell, we will leave it there. So thanks for watching, and wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, hang on, I haven't got myself sorted out, have I? Because I'm all a dither. Until next time, I'm sure I'm going to say something else, and I forgot what it was. I'm sure I'm going to say something else. Anyway, I will reiterate, like and subscribe, and all that stuff. As Wingray says, like and subscribe. But we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll say the...